if you guys don't remember, I built this entire moss structure in one piece, so it's gonna kind of suck to move it all. I'm probably going to lose a bit of moss falling off of it. I'm okay with that. I do have some hair algae on it. I think once it goes to the new system, it'll kind of shock it. But their filter from this tank is already over there. I might even drill these tanks and plumb them into the 2000, but I'm not positive on that. Okay, here we go. This is an absolute beast of a piece of wood. I never planned on moving it. You guys probably don't believe me at this point, but obviously you don't build something so big and so difficult to move with plans on taking it out someday. I'm gonna lose a lot of the moss. I already feel it kind of falling off and falling apart here. So hopefully this will hold together long enough till I get it out of the tank and get it into its new home. Look at this beastly thing. It looks like something you'd pull. Oh, there goes a lot of moss. I'm okay with that, whatever, right? Let it fall off. I can always tie it back on. Look at it all coming off. Damn, that sucks. Yeah, well, it didn't help that I'm shaking it, but whatever. It's still absolutely stunning. And once it goes in there, I don't care because it all sinks. None of this floats, so that's a huge plus. In you go. Oh, I hear some of it breaking. Come on, get in there. It's almost like a nice little trimming. How am I going to get this piece in? Oh, damn. It doesn't want to go in. Oh, what a mess I'm creating. Wow. But, yeah, I just literally destroyed this whole piece. Most of the wood, most of the moss fell off. And you know what? That's fine, because I think what I might do here is simply... why is it tipping forward like that? Is that sitting place? You know what? I don't care that the moss kind of fell off, but look how much actually did. And that's not all of it. Oh, wow, what a beautiful piece this is. What beautiful piece. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Why did I just smell it? But anyways, look how much. I don't even think we started with this. Moss is such like a really interesting investment for the aquarium hobbyists. Like you just buy a little and before you know it, you got so much. It's fine. The moss is going to reattach. It's going to grow. It's going to go nuts on all of this. But obviously I got to try to fix this at least to some extent. And the problem right now is that I don't have any, I forget what I was going to say. Oh, I don't have any lights over this tank right yet. I didn't get to that, which is fine. I mean, I can get to it in a minute, but priority here is just kind of whatever needs to go in the water's got to go in right now. Oh, wow. That tank has so much more moss left in it. I think I'm just going to let the moss free float in this tank and attach where it wants, keeping it off the input of the filter. And I think that is more than appropriate enough. Just stuff it everywhere. It's once the filters are hooked up, this is all going to let loose anyways, somewhat. I don't even know if I'm getting this evenly placed in here. I guess I don't care because I let that happen in the original tank where I was just letting it blow all over the place, and turned out just fine. Guys, I'm not joking. Look how much moss that I'm just pulling out of that tank. It's like literally, I've become a moss dealer. Again, I'm just gonna get it in the water. I don't really care if it begins to float. Well, it'll kind of suck, I guess, like chasing it around, but I just want it to be in there. I don't even know where it's being placed right now. I'm also not moving all discus over. This is a great opportunity for me to kind of pick the best colors that we like because I'm coming up on a new opportunity to get more. I also don't think I'm going to move the rocks that were in that tank originally because they just kind of trapped detritus. It kind of finished the tank off a little bit, but I wasn't too into it. I didn't really care that much. Is that it for moss? No, it's still literally everywhere. I need a stool or something to stand on. The thing about discus is like, you can obviously put your hand in there and not like worry about them biting you or, yeah, no, they're not going to attack you. Look at, this is mostly detritus on the bottom, uneaten food, fish waste, that sort of thing. But still, discus are a cichlid, and they still do have spines that they could poke you with, and you can get pretty badly hurt if you're not careful. Obviously, this is not the best discus tank I've ever set up, but it's also going to allow me to just give it some time, I guess, and it will get better with time. Check this out. This moss on them is growing beautifully. Isn't that gorgeous? So now when we put this in a tank, it's a finished piece that we've kind of been working on for some time, and this is going in one of the cubes. One of the 16 by 16 by 16. I'm excited about that. In fact, both of them might go in. Sorry for the bad camera angles. I really got to focus though. Sorry guys. Tamara's in the house cooking supper. And I'm telling you, if a woman's cooking, you leave her alone. Oh yeah, this one's got to go in quarantine. He's got something going on with his head. The problem with having fish in an established scaped type tank is it's really hard to see anything because they could hide. Let's see if you could zoom yours in. They'll hide behind a lot of the decorations. This guy is kind of emaciated. I can save him though. But he's got something on the top side of his head. It looks like it looks like an injury. Looks like his head was caught. I thought it was bacterial. No. This guy just dealing with a secondary injury. He's got a bit of healing going on his head there, but he looks to be a bit emaciated. He's not getting the food he needs. He can't compete with the other ones that are really healthy, especially in a tank like this. So I'm going to put him by himself, and let's see if we can't nurse him back to health and then get him back in the tank eventually. A lot of times it takes until you break a tank down when you can actually really see the fish and see how they're really doing. I've already given away 6 of these, of like ones that were repeating colors, you know, because we had a lot of blues and we had a lot of whites, but we didn't have much reds and whatnot. So I did honestly give 6 away so far, and I might give away a few more locally to friends. And we'll see how that goes over time, because I do want a nice variety of colors in this tank as opposed to repetitively doing the same ones. I wonder if I can get them all at once. Ooh, that one looks really dark. Really dark discus are usually not a good sign, but bring you guys over here for inspection. And all I'm looking for is nice, beautiful, healthy discus. And that's what these guys are. They're gonna do much better in that tank, I think, because these guys are pretty finicky. I find that they're not as robust as a lot of the discus I've had. I'd like to see them eat more food more often, and I think a lot of it just had to do with location. You know, I'm not a huge fan of putting small discus in a scape tank, simply because those are the most meaningful moments of their entire lives in terms of if they're going to make it or not, if they'll become a nice strong discus, what their personalities will be like. A lot of the times I like to raise them in bare bottom tanks with absolutely nothing in it. Oh, look at how beautiful these guys are. Simply because it's easier to keep the tank clean, which doesn't make you a lazy aquarist. It allows for this stuff not to happen. But yeah, anyways, that's why I do bare bottom tanks with discus. Growing them out is to keep nitrates absolutely to a complete and total minimum. Keep ammonia and nitrite incredibly low as well. I have nowhere to put you guys right now. And then we have a better environment for them. I don't have enough water in this tank. I was going to take from this one because I was worried about the plants dying. And that's one of the big things where you do a massive water change like this. I've always promoted them as water changes. And one of the downsides that can happen is if you do set up an aquarium with just a cycled filter, what is it going to eat? In order for your bacteria to eat, your plants to stay alive, they do need nutrients in the water column. The fish, it's going to take, you gotta see this. The lionfish is over there getting cleaned by the shrimp. The shrimp's too big for him to eat. And by the time the lionfish is big enough to eat him, the shrimp will have already gone through his life. He's probably only got a few months left anyways, or her. But all the fish go over there and get cleaned by him. And I'm gonna be kind of sad when the lionfish get too big and I can't have cleaner shrimp in there with them, but that's literally what's happening. And the lionfish is trying to scoot in and be like, do my belly, do my belly. That's not something that happens in the wild. They like to do it to the puffer as well. Dwight's like really depressed right now because I'm playing with other fish, I bet. Anyways, yeah, let's get this filter up and going. You know what? I'm probably going to end it there because I've really got to focus. I'm going to finish draining this. I'm going to plug in the canister filter essentially and toss the lid on, and that'll be it. I'll figure out lights. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I can move these over, the ones that we built that are the same ones up there. I'd like to, because the 375 is going to get this lighting. Same as the 2000. It's kind of cool, right? And I think this entire top row of racks might get it, but I don't know because the bottom row can't fit it. So I don't know what I'll do. I'll figure it out here shortly. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this portion of the video. Obviously, I still got to paint this. I think I'm going to put like a framing around it. I'd like to cut off this entire side. I don't know. Not cut it, but like block it off. You know what I'm talking about. But that's it so far. Another chapter completed in this bit of a renovation that we're doing. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I mean, this is exciting for me, guys, and I'm just trying to get through the worst part. I don't like moving the fish. I don't like doing that part. I like to build, but like moving the fish can at times be a bit risky. What if you hurt one? What if they jump? What if they something happens in the new tank? There's a bunch of what ifs that can happen. Luckily, I've never actually had anything happen, but you never know. Just because something's never happened to you doesn't mean it won't. And that's something that I like to talk about as well, is like nobody's quarantining their fish these days. Some are, because I've been pumping it and pumping it and pumping it, and then they wipe out their entire system or something. I'm not even gonna call anybody out or anything like that, but there are some things that bug me, and they're so wrong that I gotta talk about it eventually. Just not right now. I'm not gonna let that negativity infect me while I'm doing something so cool and so positive. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys shortly. Follow me on Twitch if you're not. I don't know when this video will come out, but by the time it does, I've probably been live streaming there for a couple of weeks up to that point. I know I'm going to be starting. Today is the 28th. I start streaming on April 1st or April 2nd. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's it. This is why I'm doing live streams, because I can't shut up. I'll see you guys shortly.